Okay, okay. Let's see if we fixed everything. Okay, sorry for the delay. My YouTube studio thing just like completely just took a shit. So we have that fixed. And now we're doing it. We're doing it live. A little bit of change of scenery. We got some stuff going on, but is what it is. Okay. I'm excited to be back, and this is Sunday. This is a little bit out of the ordinary because we are usually doing the Wednesday gig. So we got the reason I'm doing a stream today is we're not changing anything like uh permanently or anything along those lines, but more so um you know we we missed the last stream, and I was just wanted to make it up to everybody and do one more. And then Wednesday, we're going to have the Pro Tour London tier list as well. Um, and yeah, so that is the plan going forward. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a recap. Let me get caught up in chat real quick. Please tell me we solved the one cost deck. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But we got something spicy lined up for everybody. Guaranteed or your money back, even though it's absolutely free. um, I just don't understand how you make the deck have consistently better numbers and not brick. Because the way I see it, you can get a couple more points of EV, but you risk bricking so much more. It's interesting, and so I came up with a new deck concept for Aurora that we're going to go over shortly. And if you want the list, it is going to be posted in the Card Guys Discord after the stream, and then the link to that Discord will be in the description. But the reason that I developed this Aurora deck that we're going to go over shortly is I wanted a way to combat the way that I think people are targeting Aurora, which we kind of saw this weekend with the calling, and also just I think that there is a way to develop an edge in the mirror, which is the most interesting aspect of um, a deck like Aurora. I think it's very important to find a way to gain an edge in the mirror. And I'm not saying that I've 100% got it figured out. This is a very, the proof of concept is there. The question is, there's a couple, you can lean the deck a little bit more aggressively, which is currently how mine is leaning because I really don't feel comfortable giving up the Enigma matchup, but you can also bring it back to be even more defensive. And so I just need a couple more data points to really understand which direction I need to take it. But we'll go over that when we go over the list here in about 5 or 10 minutes. But first, I wanted to talk about we had a calling, right? And um, during the last tier list, the one right when the hunted dropped, basically, I put Syndra in C tier. And I just want to move to the other screen real quick to say that I was right. There were Syndra was the third most represented deck. All right, chat. Third most represented deck. And not a single one. Not one chat made day two. Everybody that was talking shit. Everybody that was talking shit. There it is. All right. So, um, I mean, that's proof, right? That is such a statistical data point. It's actually amazing. Um, but more importantly, other than to say I was right, what we also have to do is say that I was right about something else, and that is I said that the meta would develop into a lot of people thought it was going to be an aggro meta, but I thought that it was going to default to a very blocky defensive meta, and we're seeing that with Florian and Verdance and Jarl having kind of like, um, you know, a pretty decent showing. And then we also have the overall win percentages here for the event. And, you're seeing Enigma not going away. I said that she was really good still. People were saying that, oh, she's terrible or whatever. I still think she's there. I think I had her literally third on my tier list, and this data would kind of support that. And then New hasn't gone anywhere because she's MST, right? And then this is all Eugene right here, repping the Rhinar. And yeah, so we're not in an aggro meta. We're in a meta that has one really good aggro deck, and then everybody's trying to block to beat it, which is exactly what we said was going to happen. So, um, you know, it is what it is, and that's what we called. And I'm glad that it ended up that way. But either way, I digress. Okay, just wanted to talk about that for a second. Okay, what's up? What's up, Hal? Good to see you. Syndra flopped so hard, she did. And I even predicted the week that it would happen. I said the third week of RTN is where the drop would begin, and that's exactly where it happened. Abby said, oh no, it's 9 somersault. And you're actually 100% correct. Let's get into the deck list. All right, here we go. This is it. This is the deck. Yes, we are running Twinkle Toes, chat. No creepers, no snappies, nothing. This is just value, okay? Now I'm gonna break down the deck building premise because I know this is like, I'm sure maybe some people have tried this, but I think I've found that kind of perfect balance where somebody may have tried this, but you're not actually giving up a lot by doing it. And you can actually stay very efficient while doing so. Straight to jail. No, check it out. Check it out. Okay. So what I did was I took yes, that is a pummel, chat. That is a pummel. Hear me out. Hear me out. We're gonna play some games because I want to prove it to you. Okay. And then this is the sideboard for anybody that wants to know. So everybody knows how good a card Somersault is, right? And everybody knows that. But if you asked yourself, yes, you actually run the weakest part of Somersault is you actually overblock the attack and you don't extract the full amount of value. But I went balls to the walls with Fighting Spirits, all 9, to be able to block 4 in the mirror match, gain 2 life, and then bounce them back and throw it again to gain a 3rd life. Or block with them again and gain 2 more life, right? Is the idea, right? And you can also, there's so many different ways, right? There's so many different ways that so one thing that I'm going to just give it to you straight. This is not an easy deck to play because your game plan is going to change a lot. I mean a lot depending on what you are playing against. For example, I was playing against a very blocky deck, and so what I decided to do was not extract the value defensively, which is how you get the most value from Somersault, but instead I decided to play the same copy of Command and Conquer 8 times, and they never were able to resolve a D-React. And they kept drawing them and drawing them and drawing them, and they just did absolutely nothing, to the point to where most of them were just hitting to clear the arsenal. So you can play this, there's so many. Yeah, Abby, trust me. Just trust me here. I'm telling you, it works. I got to explain it, right? So the idea here is because you might be asking yourself, why the fuck is Arc Lightning in here and Sizzle and all these other cards? Well, what I did was I took a normal, uh, just a normal Aurora deck, right? And I'm basically took out all the cards that you would brick on. Arcanic Shockwave, Static Shock, those 0 for 4 block threes that don't have go again. I basically removed all of those cards, even Gone in a Flash. It does fit that criteria. I removed all those cards and said, what is a way that I can kind of reduce the amount of, um, you know, how can I extract similar amounts of value but not rely on this go again? And I found that this is the key. This is how you do it, okay? And I know you're asking, "What, Nathan, why the fuck is this in your deck?" And the answer to that question is you can block with this from Arsenal and then somersault it right to your hand. Which is insane if you think about it, because I know it's not a strong card, right? It's not doing anything strong. But when you play this deck, some things that you will actually realize is there's some times where you have an extra card that doesn't really fit a purpose. And if that card is down and dirty, you put it in Arsenal and you bank the value for the next turn in which you would block with it. Um, so literally, the deck is just attempting to do that. Um, that is the game plan. So hang on, my frames are dropping a little bit. Give me 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second. Let me fix the frames. Let me fix the frames real quick. Okay, I do apologize for that. I should be back and good, but if it does drop again, just please let me know. But yeah, so I think I hope okay, so here's also the point of the deck, because Joe has a great question in chat. What the hell is the point of Arc Lightning in this deck? And that's a very valid question. And the genesis of the deck began with the idea to lightning cards with Starfall into a 2 for 6. So if you look at the deck, basically you can play Arc Lightning, boom, 1 value, right? And then you can play a 2 for 6, boom, 1 value, because it then gains go again. Then you Starfall because you've played a lightning card with go again, boom, 3 value minimum, and it's a little evasive is the point of the card. But also cards like fucking Ever, then you literally go 0, or you pitch a blue, you swing Starfall for 5, and then CNC, and it becomes an amazing play because you can go 2 go again into 6, right? So basically it's kind of taking that Ira premise, right, where with the Kadachi, uh but you basically get the same value because you're just Starfalling. You're getting the good attack instead of just the 1. The difference is you kind of lose 1 value because, well, it's the same value, but your CNC doesn't have a break point. But we do have fucking pummel, so it doesn't matter. Um, so that's kind of the idea. Yeah, I apologize for the frames. I do apologize. Um, It's very weird to build around Somersault and not play CLV, which is clearly easy to keep around. Okay, so that's a great point. But the problem, so yes, this deck very easily could keep you could charge CLV rent in this deck. It would be staying around for so long. The problem is you don't actually extract that much value from a random card. So it's not can you play it? It's why would you play it kind of situation. And I know everybody's gonna grill me on why I'm playing draft chaff legs, and somersault turns this card on. And it literally makes it block too. So you play somersault, you pop it, and then you're able to against the Aurora in the mirror match, kind of is basic. This this prevention floats right, and it can be separate. So you can block 2 0 for fours cleanly with 3 blocks. Is kind of the idea. So it should be, pretty clean. And then you also have a couple options as well if you need. Or I guess you wouldn't play this in the mirror, but if there were any other situation, you definitely want the AB boots in the mirror. But that's kind of the idea. What if you draw a somersault though? Taps for. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Why are there so many 2 blocks if you want to be defensive? Because this card says the card's no longer block 2. This card does block 2, but it technically can extract up to 3. And that's Nico. That's a very good very good point, because currently one of the things that I'm battling right now is whether to have more raw block value, aka turn these fighting spirits into things like amnesia, things like that. Just 2 for 6s that actually block 3. I'm trying to evaluate properly what's better, having the raw block value or being able to avoid overblocking. And that's it. So you're kind of onto something, and something I've thought a lot about. And that's why this fighting spirit package, if we move away from a 0 for 4 meta, these would be the first things to come out. We would go to just raw 3 block cards to make sure that we can extract the value every single time. Do we still run the combo and burn up shock? No, we do not. We run this because it's a 0 for 3 at minimum with a little bit of evasiveness. And then this, if we play Serenade, get a Skizzik, and which would be for 4, then we can Starfall for 2, go again, and then a 2 for 6 to follow that. So it becomes a 3-card 12, which is really fucking good, right? Bastion would not fit the same theme because you want to block in pairs with Somersault. So unfortunately, Bastion is a great card. It just does not fit what we are trying to do, because it has to block alone to get the prevention. Does this deck not get fatigued by almost every halfway decent value deck? That's a great question. And no, it does not, because literally these all attack for 6. This has, I think I did the math one time. The threat density in this deck is over 300 points of offensive value. That's not including Starfall. So no, you are not getting fatigued. That's also why Last Ditch Effort is in there. But literally, you cannot get fatigued if you throw CNC literally 12 times. You cannot. It will not happen. Why Skizzik when CNC for 7 go again? Because we don't want go again after our 2 for 6. We want to throw Starfall before and then throw the CNC. Is the idea. We just get more value from doing that. Is it 3-card 12? Just what every other Aurora does? That is 100% accurate. The difference is how do you disrupt Aurora? You throw things like CNC and then Assassin and other things. The difference between this deck and a normal Aurora deck is you have the option to extract the value either on offense or defense. That's the key. So if there is a deck that kind of is trying to pick on you with cards like, CNC and codexes and whatever the case may be, you get to pick how you want to leverage your value. That's the most important part. want to see it in action, and you will, I promise. Isn't so I hope that kind of gives everybody an idea. So there's a couple other options that you could go with this deck that I'm currently entertaining the idea of. And I do think Pummel's a little greedy. If I'm being 100% honest with you, chat, I think it's a little greedy. And if I went away from Pummel, the card that I would put in its place would actually be Premeditate. Because in this deck, because you're somersaulting so often, you are very often ending with an attack in Arsenal. And if I also made that change, I think it would begin the conversation of adding this beautiful card, Face Purgatory. So I think it's kind of what your preference is on whether you want to go Crown of Providence or and Pommel, or you want to go pre-med and Face Purgatory. It's kind of up to you on which angle you really want to take there. Arc Lightning really be doing nothing in this deck. It is actually the weakest card in the deck, believe it or not. It says 0 for 3 all arcane. It is basically what it says. Now, it's very important in the matchups like Enigma, where you need to play multiple attacks a turn and put on a lot of pressure, and that's one of the reasons why it's there. But this is very often one of the cards that is sided out for cards like, say, Sink Below and things like that. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Why the fuck are you gonna play Ravenous Rabble when you got 15 blues and 12 yellows?" Well, I'll give you a little hint or teach you how to do Rabble math. Okay, and the answer to that is, if you wanted to see what the value proposition is for Ravenous Rabble in this deck, I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. You would say you have 33 red, so you go, well, you take away 3 of those because 3 of those are presumed to be Rabble, right? So you go 30 times 4. So 30 of the hits will give you 4 values. So 30 times 4 is 120. You just put that to the side. Then you go 12 times 3. 12 times 3 equals 36. You just put that number to the side, and then you go 15 times 2. And then you go 15 times 2, and that gives you 30. Then you add all 3 of those numbers up, 30 plus 36 plus 120. And then you divide that number by 57, because that's the total number of hits that could be in the deck. You divide that by 57, and it leaves you with a value of 3.26. And that's before the fact that anytime I would put in Rabble, I would take out blue. I would put it in the place of a blue. So if you do the math, it's around the point of like 3.47, I think is the value on Rabble. And I don't know about you, but if I could add a non-conditional 3.5 value offensive tool, I'd probably do that. And so yeah, that's kind of the idea. This deck is a fever dream. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Shouldn't you only remove one of the Rabbles at the start of that math? That is correct. That you are 100% correct. So it's even more than that. My bad. But yes, you are correct. Just one Rabble. But that's how you do the math on whether a deck has the structure to support Rabble or not. But yes, you're correct. It would be 59, and so this one would be 32 times 4, and then divide by 59 at the end. Is the math behind it. So anyway, let me give you a proof of concept. Let's go ahead and throw this bad boy into let's go and play some Talishar. Oh no. Okay, we are logged in. The cards are out now, so we can just Entwine doesn't seem to fit the deck. So Entwine's there because it's 4 go again. It's literally just 4 go again. you're right. It's not a lightning card. It doesn't allow you to, you know, do anything along the lines of the whole starfall into 2 for 6 and so forth. It does not allow you to do that. However, it does just say for because we run way I want to say more lightning than an actual Aurora deck because we have what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 20. That's about the same probably. So we still very easily support this card basically is kind of the idea. Now here against Vincent, I actually had a vaporize in earlier today, believe it or not, where I was kind of you know, uh figuring out what exactly I wanted to do with the deck, but this one we kind of have to put the pressure on. We can't let them set up, and so I'm just gonna go with this setup here. And if you are worried about this matchup, Amnesia is a fantastic tool to kind of cushion this matchup a little bit. Okay. Might see if I can convince my team that this is a real deck. I mean, try it and let me know. Malefic, great start. Fantastic start. Yeah, you got it. Okay, so here what we're gonna do is we're gonna go sizzle. It's really laggy for me for some reason. Okay, so we're gonna swing A, make an embodiment, which will basically turn the Skizzik on next turn. And then we can hopefully draw a blue and a 2 for 6 and go Skizzik for 4, Starfall into 2 for 8 is kind of the general idea here that we're going for. I think I like running CLV and Phase Purgatory. Well, those are conflicting points because one does not support the other. If in fact, it actually takes away from it. Um, so I don't understand the point of CLV and like, what if we drew a card? I mean, I don't know what the actual value extracted would even would even seem to be. I guess also now that I think about it, because of widespread destruction, we could have a funeral moon. I don't like arsenaling against this deck, and they've already taken some damage. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna arsenal. I'm actually just going to grasp here and throw it because of widespread destruction. And he took the damage, which kind of leaves open the possibility of disrupting that arsenal, which we obviously don't enjoy. And then obviously here, in case they have a D-react, I'm just splitting the damage between the Rune Chant and here. It's 4 value no matter how you cut it, but this is just split if they do have the D-react. Um, Normal Aurora can spike higher numbers. That is 100% correct. That is not the angle of this deck particularly. Shadow puppetry, sure. So is this Revel? Is the question. It's unpreventable, so you got me. But I do like the idea of stopping. Could also vexing here, although that's super greedy. Could vexing that has Goigun could be read the runes as well because you close the chain, you get the eloquence. This is actually a little tricky. But I don't want to give them the opportunity to get a free card. I really don't like the idea of that. So in that event, we're gonna block for 5 here. Probably read the runes or revel. Either one would be really good here. Really good. Dirge, same shit, just different card. Same shit, different card. Z, what's up? Okay, we want to try. Keyword try and go underneath if able. That'd be kind of good, right? Which we can exactly do. I want to block with the E strike, but you know, I also want to gain a life when I throw this this fighting spirit. So ideally, I would have liked to extract value there. I don't like sitting on E strikes. It's very dangerous business, especially with tunic on 3 next turn. If we draw like a CNC pummel kind of situation, then when you have E strike and Arsenal, it makes it very telegraphed, which is not ideal. And we don't have to worry about it because of obviously they don't have purgatory, but it is what it is. Oh, we're at the inevitable part. Any rune blade life cycle where we make jank mid range stuff. Yes, finally somebody understands. And I did the same thing with Briar and it worked. So I would like to assume that the community could at least give me the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's a decent idea. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying maybe. Maybe. Okay, this hand is dog shit. But we're gonna turn it into greatness. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. Actually it's not. So if you look at this hand, what we can do is Serenade for a Skizzic, send it for 4, Starfall for 2, and then Down and Dirty for 6, which is actually literally a 3-card 12. And then we can just Arsenal the Down and Dirty if we wanted to. Depends on whatever they're doing on their turn, which doesn't seem. I guess they're gonna annihilate me, which is really unfortunate. Vexing. Okay, I see you. Mordred Tide. Okay. So they're just better. Okay. What the fuck is happening right now? Are we getting high rolled? Is that what's happening? Mordred double malefic annihilation. Holy shit. We can't. We can't do it. So we're not going to. Still not as high roll as Eugene. Oh my god, Eugene's the goat, bro. Sand sketch plans amiss, bro. What a legend. Oh, Eugene's the goat. Eugene's actually the goat. Okay, we have to banish a card from our hand, so we're just gonna banish the other Down and Dirty. Keep the LE strike in the bin. Unfortunately, I really don't want to hang on to this E strike. I really wanted to block with it, but you know it is B what it is B. So Anyway, for our LLs and you go through this crisis, there might be some validity to that statement. There may be, possibly. But look at this play chat. Like, this is hot. Like, you don't need that. You don't need any moving pieces. You don't have to like, oh, I better arsenal this card so I don't like brick the shit out of the next turn. No, you just draw it and you fucking go. Like, it's that fucking simple. Oh man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Is Florian S tier? We're gonna have to save that discussion for next week. The tier list for Pro Tour London will be on Wednesday. That is when we're gonna go over that. Yeah, you just draw your cards in the right order. I mean, I technically drew them in the wrong order. Like, I don't want to draw 2 down and dirty. And it's not like anything I had was like I drew a blue, a 2 for 6, and a card that just fits in any hand, which is kind of how all the 0 for 4s just fit in any hand. It's kind of how the deck is designed. But since they got the Malefics out early, they're just gonna ass blast me next turn if they're taking all this damage. So none of this actually matters in this game. Am I insane for considering Fang for the Pro Tour? If it was Michael Fang, I would say that you're not insane. But if it was actual Fang, then yes, you are insane. I know the 0 for 4 dot deck looked good, but like Tenacity got everybody all stirred up. But I don't know. I'm not a believer yet. I am willing to be wrong. I want to preface that statement with I do not think that they're bad by any means. However, I just don't think it's amazing. I really don't. All right, what we got here? A big ass whale. Okay. With nothing out in front. Huh. With 5 rune chants. Is this a succumb? Or a cull? Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, chat. We dodged a tornado by 2 miles. By 2 miles, we dodged it. But we did it. We did it. God, I don't know what to do here. I think we have. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna play around the succumb. I'm gonna let this through because they have creepers anyway and tunic counters, so we can't really stop that line of play. But what we can do is block face fucking value on the other shit. So what we're gonna do here is block here, here, and here. And I think this is my win con for sure. So I need this has to go in Arsenal. We want to be able to play these out just because they get the most value. So unfortunately, we have to lose the value here because we're under, which is not ideal. Or we're not under, sorry. We're finally gonna get away from that E strike and probably block with it, whatever we draw. Or play it. Or we could play it. Yeah. That's cool too. So they can close the chain and get one chance. You know, chat, I run 9 somersaults, and we have not seen one of those sons of bitches. We're about to draw a lot of them. We have not. It is turn 4, bro, and we haven't seen one of them. All right, we're activating creepers. To do what? Oh my, could lose to Jack-o'-lantern, bro. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Please don't do it to me. Finally, a semblance of a break. Why is this deck actually functioning? Nico, it's because I did the deck building episode 3 of Learning Curve. That is why it's functioning. The ratios are really well done. Really well done. And you know, that is 100% true that the deck can only exist because Somersault is busted. That is actual factual. No way around it. We can't block that anyway, so no point in even trying. That's cool. But if we do draw a blue somersault, at least it can AB. So we'll take those wins when we can get it. And we're just gonna say, yeah, that's cool. Okay, you've already dealt damage. So you get your little rune chance. That's all you. Fucking 4, bro. It's wild. So we go 4-4-4 Arsenal Pummel. And then we draw a blue and a no, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna draw 2 somersaults, 1 blue, and a CNC and another attack. We're gonna block with both of the attacks, bounce them, and then CNC pummel. It's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be a clip, okay? That's what's gonna happen. We're generating clips here. I'm surprised 15 blues is enough for a 9 fighting Indel's fighting spirit deck. Well, somebody created a formula that tells you the perfect number of blue cards for any deck. Uh, that was me, and that was like 2 streams ago. No, it was the last stream I did. Yeah. So there you go. That's why it's enough. No other reasoning, but yeah, that's it. The reason that 15 is enough is because your turns are not dead if you don't draw one, right? You still have function. You have a lot of 0 cost cards where you don't actually lose that much value by not drawing one. Second, a lot of them you don't want to actually play or pitch, right? Like a lot of them are playable, like the blue somersault, things like that. And then yeah, so you don't really, you just don't need them, right? And there's a lot of situations where so Rhett, That is probably the mathematically correct one, but I'm a little bit behind in this game, and I've recognized very quickly that the only chance that I have to win this game is if I execute this pummel. So I'm in a very losing position. So what I need him to do is start blocking. Uh Never mind, Rhett. We're gonna do exactly what you recommended because we no longer have this pummel. So we are gonna get our value. That is what's gonna happen. Or 4 somersaults. That is entirely possible because we have not drawn a single one, unfortunately. We did get cold, which is, a tad inconvenient. I really wanted to kill with this card, but I guess we'll not. I guess we'll just use our tunic counter for 2. Kind of boring. But it'd be like that. What I was trying to say is I'm behind in this game. So my way to win is like, oops, pummel. Didn't expect it. Um, but I no longer have that line, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna Starfall instead, is our game plan. So sometimes the game just makes the choice for you, and you gotta go with it, it's very important. It's very, very important. Please, I need 2 attacks and a somersault. One time. I haven't drawn a single one in the whole deck. Which is actually somebody pull up the hypergeometric on what the chances is to draw 20 cards and not see a 9 of. It has to be just wild. It has to be absolutely wild. Okay, so we are getting the armor blocks. Getting the creepers block here makes me feel a little better. Not great, but a little better. Playing the Funeral Moon. I'm pulling up the hypergeometric on the other screen. 60 sample size is 20 cards. And I know, yeah, 20 cards. Number of successes in population is 9, and we just want 1. The chance to draw 0 is 1.85, so we're at a less than 2% chance to not draw, and we still have it. Okay, let's change the number to 24. Now we're in 0.6% chance to draw. Okay, that's a 0.6% chance to not draw a somersault, which is the whole reason we're doing this. Does this have go again? It doesn't, right? So it just has Nazareth. Okay. How do we break this? Good question. I think we go full defensive now and wait for a brick. Because they can just trade us out with Nazareth. Now we're actually gonna have to lean on somersault when we actually decide to draw them. Um, I don't know if that's correct. It feels right. I don't know if it is. I'm just gonna make them draw a functioning hand. Is what I'm gonna force them to do. Which ending on a rune chant reduces the odds of like, that actually happening. But as long as they don't have go again. Now, if they draw a shadow puppetry or anything like that that they can actually use, then we're just donezo, right? Like there's nothing we can do. But, we will cross that bridge when we get there. So we finally drew a somersault in the what? It was 24, the 28th card. So to get it on the to not get one in 27 cards is 0.26% chance. Okay, does this have go again? It doesn't, right? Uh um what's more valuable, doing damage or the tunic or keeping the tunic? It's probably I know it sounds crazy, but I think tunic's actually worth more than the card. Don't have an action point. Nobody's taking damage, so we force them to tick down one. And then we're not attacking them for the sole reason we don't want them to play that. Now they're off of a rune chant. This is why Vincent, this kind of situation that I've developed is one of the greatest weaknesses of Vincent. I'm not saying she's bad. I think Vincent's really good. But like, see this. Oh my god, this hand. Oh man, let me take some damage real quick. Let me take some damage real quick. Okay, so you have no action point. Bet. Oh, that's actually good play. You did the shadow pay a life, which allows you to play that instance, which gives you the action point back from the eloquence. I dig it. I dig it. But what are you gonna do with it? That's the question. Okay, we could have a coal here, which means we would just get rid of the arc lightning, which is fine. So we block here, here. Unfortunately, we're not under. Just giga unfortunate. But then we have the ability to bounce it back. Succumb. We did it. We blocked. Get the action point, swing 6. Understand. If I'm not mistaken, the rules here, you can play this um, in the resolution steps. At least that's what they were doing in the calling. We're about to find out if Tower Star is programmed that way. About to find out very quickly. I guess the question is, are they thinking about calling here? Is the only thing that like really would make sense. Okay, swing 6 here. Basically means I think it's actually correct to block 4. This is Room Blade attack action card, so it does not count this. I think we're gonna wait on a brick. We're gonna block 4, stay at a somewhat healthy 3, hope for a brick, and try to close the game out with an arc lightning. Is our gameplay instead of sending 7. I know we just traded 4 for 7. I understand that that is terrible math. But what we can't do is get in these exchanges with Vincent where she's able to block with 2 cards. We need her to just brick. That's our win con. Um, that's ultimately what we're trying to. We are still this bad boy and hopefully not draw a bunch of somersaults. That'd be kind of sus. Okay, this is good. There's some things we can do here. The only downside is our blues or the bounces, and so it's very difficult to A B in this situation. That's the only downside here. So we might just have to, you know. So how did we get 3 root? We dirged. Okay. If that's the case, we have to We have to block. We have to block here. No choice. We are just going to go ahead and bounce the blue because why not? They have no action point. How many blues have we seen? There's some blues missing. So we can create a little bit of pressure. Yeah, it has a B for sure. We know we're not getting like an automatic win here. But what we can do is just we could pressure the hand a little bit, maybe get a little bit of space. Maybe they drew a hand that wasn't a brick, and we can maybe clear because this is kind of for free, right? It's kind of the idea. Wait, what am I targeting? What? Oh, it's deal 1 damage to any target. Oh, that's pretty cool. I had no idea. So with deal 1, we'll make a okay, pitching a yellow, that's good. Because this will ping again, and then that'll ping again. So it is going to get, I think, 3 cards. Is it? No, surely not. Just 2. Then we throw this, which will be 2 and 1, and then 1 more. So it for sure gets another card. We have the tunic counter for a little bit of AB protection if we don't draw blue. We were really behind in this game, and man, we just like pumped the brakes and said, better draw some gas. And this motherfucker's been sitting here a while, okay? And we're just hanging on, you know? But we're doing it. We are doing it. No rune chance, so like even reduce here is like mid as fuck. Like absolutely mid. Got the block, ping for 1. Which takes her to 1. On a 2-card hand, no rune chant. We still have 1 armor and a resource. And 3 life. We don't get closer than this. Oh, pitched to red. Okay, got him on a 1-card hand. Maybe they're just going to just swing Nazareth and say, you know what? Okay, Dirge. But that doesn't discharge the rune chant, I don't think. We came so close to dying here. Like really close to dying. But we're alive. The problem is we have no fucking Skizzics, which is a problem. Which is a problem. So what we can do, hang on, let's figure this out. We don't want to give up the tunic. what do we gain by not giving up the tunic? What are we trying to what's our end goal? What are we trying to accomplish is the question. I don't know the answer to that question. Hmm. Because this doesn't um this doesn't hmm. We could block CNC and then here go to one bounce. And then we could go Serenade, but then we wouldn't have the tunic counter because this isn't a blue is the problem. So we kind of got shafted on that one. So with that being the case, I think we have to let go of the Serenade because we have no more Skizzics, right? We're out of Skizzics. And I guess the ultimate question is, do we send the CNC at Nazareth or Vinny? And I think they have a go again problem. So I don't think Nazareth is particularly an issue. Um hmm. And if we catch them without 3 blocks, I say we have to throw it at Vinny, believe it or not. I think throwing it at Nazareth is a losing play because the only way Nazareth is any good in this situation is if they have go again. And if I swing into Nazareth and then they have go again, I'm dead because they're just going to kill me with like, normal shit. Um What up, Chance? Just look at the bandage zone. We got down and dirty and Bummel. Yeah. So it's like fighting spirit dot deck. We're bouncing with 9 of somersaults, you know. But yeah, I'm not too scared of Nazareth in this situation, actually. I'd rather get cards and force a situation like this where we at least get rid of the arsenal and things like that. Although they're looking like they're gonna be able to throw a juicy 2 rune gate at me, which is a little bit scary. But it is what it is. Is it Skyward seems so mid bad if it can't always get is it? I like my name. I mean, yeah, it's horrible if you can't grab it. That's 100% correct. And we drew one on the very first turn and ended up playing it, so that's why we're coming up one short here. In this game. This game's going the distance. 42 minutes. Bro, we flew down to like literally I drew no somersaults for 27 cards. Damn. Well, we get the full block though. So he's just gonna do the same thing. And see, this is where we get a problem where we need to find a window if they do keep doing that, because they can just build rune chance, and then finally do a rune gate. So it is something that we have to be aware of, and we have to actually, which is why I held on to the tunic, because I want to present a situation where I can somersault the Nazareth and then go a little bit wider, to actually close the game out is our end goal. Because currently they can just banish, get a rune chant, swing 6 without discharging the rune chant, which is not good for us. But is if we can somersault the Nazareth, that's how we win the game. That's how we do it. Okay, we have a eulogy. Okay. With no go again. which means we basically have to block this because we can't let them get go again off the non-attacks. Um, is it time to give up the tunic? If we do, we get to send 6. We get to send 6. How 6 is the problem? And I don't want to give the dang man. We could split it 1-1. I'm not sure what that actually accomplishes. We still have puppetries. We have coals. We have all kind of shit. Gained life off of fighting spirit. So yes, and then hold a blue for what? I mean, I could have like arsenal to blue, yes, but I don't. Yeah, I don't want to take damage for the eloquence. Is the main reason for the line. Do not want to take damage. The last thing I want to give them is more shit that they can, because if they get eloquence, they could close the combat chain, play like a funeral moon or something, anything, or just something, some way to play something, and then swing Nazareth, and I'm just dead. And I'm trying to not have that happen. So we do the same thing, but this time, this part of the equation is they no longer have a rune chance. So they built up to, I think, 3, right? Because there was like turns where they just made one, attacked with Nazareth, made one, attacked with Nazareth. But we basically reset them to take any damage, and we're still sending 6, which is the important part. So once again, we're just waiting for a somersault that actually fucking works. And once we actually are able to do that, we should be able to close the game out with enough tempo, assuming that the hand actually fucking operates. Another way that we can close this out is if we get like a lightning surge in Arsenal or something like that, to where we can like go 0 for 4 and then 2 for 6. Would be a really good way to do it. But he has to be very careful on what he actually banishes with the Vincent. A lot of the time, he's probably going to pick a non-blood deck card unless he has a way to play it, because he's literally at 2. And so Jack-o'-lantern's, yeah, so he's just literally banishing cards that don't apply. And this is kind of one of the spots that I'm referring to, where we want to be able to bounce. The problem is, I don't know if taking 1 damage is not worth getting a pummel on Arsenal. It cannot be. So what we're gonna do is just block here. We have missed on all these fighting spirits. And then we're just gonna bounce. Then throw the 6. we're just gonna keep doing it. Oh man, this is too good. This is the most boring flesh and blood. We're getting an edge. But see, like, if that hand, if this pommel was like a 0 for 4 that I could give go again to, or even like I don't know, an arc lightning or something, like we like literally run away with the game. We just take one and say fuck it, and then just hit the gas, right? But this just doesn't let us. So a little bit unfortunate on our draws, and they had a really hot start. Uh, just finished my 8-hour shift, and this game's still going on. Okay, so we can pitch the 2 and we can block. Okay, and then we can arsenal this. Okay. Okay. We might die next turn because they might have like a go again card, but like uh we don't want to die, so we'll AP, I guess, you know. Like how these cards have text that haven't been triggering, bro. It's been super unfortunate. It's been super unfortunate. So this is an interesting situation, right? Because this at most guarantees 1 card, which means I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm just going to hope that they bricked, and if they did not, we lose the game. It's literally that simple of an equation. But if they do brick, we probably win the game because we can like somersault something and then also add a lightning surge to it, starfall, and then close the game out, right? So we're just banking the entire game on this pass of the turn and hope they don't. Oh my god. Oh, please brick. Please brick. Oh no. Not like this, chat. Not like this. Oh no. Can he play it though? That's the question. Can he play it? Oh, but I just lose to 6 here, don't I? Oh, we're giga toasted, bro. Ugh. So, what did we learn, chat? If you don't draw a somersault in 27 cards, they're gonna come up at one single time, and that's exactly what happened. Damn, ain't that something, Cole, bro? I would love to. Oh man, just don't attack me, bro. Just funeral moon. I'm fucking dead. Oh, I'm so fucking dead. Yeah, we found the somersault, chat. Okay. Damn. So we had the card too, like lined up. If we just had uh what was coming up? Like we just needed these cards in one somersault, and we closed the game out with the surge. Damn. Ripperoni. That's okay. Damn. That was tight. That was tight. Okay, here we're gonna go first. This all right. This is this is almost cheating. Okay, but we're gonna do it anyway, because we have to teach the prison players to like keep their head on a swivel, right? That's the idea. Oh, he dipped. I would do. Oh man. Lost first game. Dex mid. Confirmed. 100% confirmed. Oh man. That Mordred was good though. Had the double Malefic into the Mordred, into the Annihilation. All the calculations couldn't predict that. That's a fact. It's a fact. Oh, we want to start with a little bit of tempo, ideally. Ideally, we want to be very defensive in this matchup. We want to deny the value there. So we need to remove probably Arc Light. If I had to guess. Probably end up being just a liability in this equation. Rather have the block. Yeah, let's roll with that. See what happens. That was me on Prism. I left because I was watching you while you played. Didn't want to stream. That's all good, Matt. Oh man, it's okay. It would not have been fair. It would not have been fair. All these poppers and nothing to do with them. I guess actually, I guess you can't somersault the Phantasm, which is interesting. I'd have to take the Phantasms out, probably. Oh, that's interesting. Pretty interesting. Quicksilver Dagger. Okay, we're cooking. Turns out we're both cooking. Good old Twinkle Toes. Watch out. I'm gonna block here and here, and he's gonna go, what? He's gonna say, what? Yeah. Okay. What we got here? Okay, so here, this is how the deck is supposed to work, right? This is kind of the idea. Um, so you draw a hand like this, you could block the 6, and then of course, send it. Is kind of the main premise. Now the question is, I really want the D react, so we might just throw this CNC at him like 1,400 times. Might be our play. Combo Fang. What the fuck is Combo Fang? I don't even know what Combo Fang is. That's all you're blocking? Wow. The reason that this is so good is he actively didn't block this, which means he may have a bunch of D reacts, and now we get to play it again when he has those same D reacts, which is pretty good. Either his hand's like absolutely busted, or he has a bunch of D reacts. I'm okay with either one of those. Okay, so here we go. See, chat. Look at this hand. All right. I don't know what the fuck this deck's trying to do with Quicksilver and Provoke and all kind of shit. Or you could have blocked CNC and you didn't? Look at his hands. Oh, hmm. Do they pump the Quicksilver dagger? Or I guess they have to play something here, right? It's kind of the idea. So we'll go ahead and go here. And then we actually have the opportunity to leverage the Twinkle Toes if they do come up over. We bounce. So we've blocked with this CNC twice, and we're going to attack with it. I'll let you have that one. What's your game plan here? What are you actually like doing? Do I need to activate my Twinkle Toes here? I've played a lightning card. What the fuck? I mean, clearly there's an attack at the end, right? I'll use one of the prevention on this, and then this will, this and that will probably cover up the last. He's got to have something. It's either a D-react in his hand or he's got some other shit. Okay, cool. That works. Okay. He blew up his arsenal last turn and didn't even use one of the cards in his hand, which means that's a D-react, which means it's going to get some. Okay, so this CNC, we blocked with it twice and we threw it twice. Nathan, is this Decklist a cry for help? Bro, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hear me out. Bane, react, dagger, 0 4. Okay. So save the somersaults, not for the dagger. Got it. You gonna let me blow that shit up again? Bro, the value. The value. Oh, so the somersault did block 6 because he could have played that, but like obviously did. This hand's damn, bro. This hand is gas. With tunic counter? What? Bro. Got it, boss. Isn't this just what a lightning guardian would look like? That's exactly what this is. That is exactly what this is. Lightning guardian. I like the way that sounds. We just threw CNC like 6 times, and now we're about to go 4 4 4 4 4 with a 7 at the end. Oh my god. Actually wild. Yeah, you got it, bro. Bigger token, bro. Busted. Wow. Yellow card yearns for Starvo too. You know, it'd be like that. Oh, we got marked, chat. We got marked. Four with the go agains. So 4, 4, 5, 7. That's pretty good. What, 4, 4, 5? That's 13 plus 7, 20. It's a 5 card 20. We take it. It's basically Aurora shit though. It's like normal Aurora shit. It's so funny. I'm telling you, I played one game with this deck and I threw the same Command and Conquer. I kid you not, like 7 times. It was actually wild. If I was playing normal Aurora, I would 100% draw. But I think I'd rather just take the guaranteed 2 value in this situation. Because if I draw one of my blues, it's like, I guess we've seen 2. So what's the math there? I wouldn't mind a blue somersault. I would take that. So it's just these. There's 12 in the deck and there's 2 here. So 10 out of 47. That's about a 9% chance to draw one of them. I think you're right. I think we'll draw a card because it's just 9% to hit on a shit blue. And it is a better rate if we can extract. So do we hit the 9%er? Hey, look at that. Look at that. You're right. I just had to do the math on, what was coming up. Don't have tunic counter though, so Pummel's not uh Pummel's not in the cards. Sure, bro, you got it. You earned it. That's all you. 3-card hand. 12-point life lead, and we get an arsenal. Okay. These fighting spirits ain't doing shit. That much. We are going to have to probably use Crown this turn because this ain't it. These cards suck when you win it. What do we do here? What do we do? He hasn't blocked a CNC yet. So do we press that? I kind of like hanging on to the CNC waiting for tunic counter though, which would imply we would have to block here and here. Mm-mm-mm. What do we play? Glint? Oh, just got blown out. Not really. Not at all. That card fucking sucks in this deck, bro. Oh man, that card's dog shit. Sure, bro, you got it. And a snatch, bro. You pitched a snatch? What are you telling me? Bro. Warrior is so bad. You did all that to match my block. Chat. This is what Warrior has resulted to. Pitching a red to swing blade and playing 4 cards to have 2 go again. Oh man. I mean, there's technically more value, I get it, but like it ain't good, bro. It ain't it ain't good. You get your +3. You deserved it. Oh man. Oh, this is too good. This is actually just hilarious. I'm just block like this. Sure, you got it, bro. You earned it. You earned it. Okay, so here's 7. What do we got in the bins so far? We saw a snatch pitch to provoke. This dude does not like blocking. He's running dynamos. I guess he does like blocking a certain way. That's fair. 2-card hand. No blue. Oh no. Oh no. Oh please. Please. Thank you, brother. Draw blue. I'm putting you to sleep. Fastest crown block of my life. Boom. Oh, we did it. Oh, let's go. What you got? That's it? Uh, let's see. If that's a 0 for 4. The problem is if this hits, he gets a field 2, which makes the stagger free, which we obviously do not want, right? Um hmm. I don't know if we play it here because if that's a 0 for 4, then it like really hurts, right? But what if it's not? Actually, the reason I'm making this play is if we do shut his turn down, right? And we basically blocked all of his damage, then it kind of hides the pummel, right? Maybe we didn't keep a card just because, we have something, but maybe, you know. Also, this is simply the highest like play to get him to want to arsenal that, which is like basically what we're trying to do. If this hits mark, I'm sure. I think you might just mark me because this is a little too good. Now, we could go ahead and do the thing, the thing, but the problem with that play is this card, right? This will be on 2, and we want it to be on 3 for this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this, fuse this, throw this, right? Which is kind of cheeky. And then we're just going to arsenal this in the next turn whenever we draw, like, weakest link or something along that line. We can do a more efficient play with this card. This is good. I mean, we're cooking. We're cooking, okay? 4 go again. Into CNC for 6. That's fine. We're not attacking with our weapon. Although good, it's heads up. It does kind of look like it. It does give that that impression. We do not intend to do so. In any way, shape, form, or fashion. And now I think we just go to racing. Because he is online. We've prevented it for as long as we possibly can. And yeah, there's not a whole lot that we can do. But what we can do is bring his life total down and then put on pressure with cards like this to maybe force him to use these in a more direct manner, which could make it where we put him in a position where he's not online again. Although that is going to be a little bit more difficult. But that's kind of what we're playing to. We have enough life to kind of go and do that. It's kind of the idea. I assumed there would be no blocks. We just arsenal and we draw a blue. A target? No. Okay. So for this hand, what we can do. Marked hero. Okay. Sure. This hand doesn't do anything crazy. And put that back in our turn the no block into a 3 block, essentially. Is the idea. Yes. And then we'll hold the Skizzic till the very end. Sure. So it's what it was this Draconic? I don't remember. Yes. So he gets 2 modes, right? Probably +2 to hit, and then I don't know. Hack an additional time, probably. Sure. Maybe already talked about, but what do you think about Florian after the calling win? I think that Florian is a good approach for the current iteration of Aurora. But I think you need to be careful because the Auroras are going to have an opportunity to innovate back in response. Um, so be careful with that. I'm not going to mention a couple cards for some reason, but for some reasons, but there's some innovation that can happen on the other side that people have to be mindful. We'll block here again. There has to be a reaction. Hopefully, there's no snatch. That would suck. At least we got our full block value there. You gotta snatch to close this out because that would, I'm telling you, that would suck. Anything but a snatch. Oh no. Well, we called it. And the problem is we have to give it because we can't give up Tunic because we have this, right? So maybe that was a mistake on my end, not holding the blocks. It did kind of line up like that to the point to where we literally saw it coming. We can't create an embodiment. Lightning and search. Just do a 0 for 4, which is not what we want to be. We don't want to be making these small trades where they get value from dynamos. We're just trying to use this bad boy. Locking with grains because you're online and you don't need it. Makes sense. I would save it, but it is what it is. We got an oath, which is interesting with 4 fealties. Like, can you not make everything draconic? Your next dagger attack this turn gets +2, and when it hits, you may attack with an additional time this turn. Okay. Probably gonna be able to. Just saying. He has to give it go again. I'm just gonna play around like a 0, just gives it go again, doesn't pump it. I can't play around anything more than that, or I'm just wasting value without a somersault. So this is only second game, and we lost against a Vinny before this. Audio having issue for you too. It's picking up fine on my end. I'm not sure. Yep, there's the 0 cost that we're playing around, basically, which was a perfect block. Cool. And now we can maybe take a little bit of damage and then block with a 2 block. Please no snatch again. That would be we saw him pitch one. It's about 20 cards down. Actually, even lower. So there's only one quote unquote snatch left, and this one we don't really care about. Not for real. So what we're gonna do is we can either arsenal. I have to block what I would rather arsenal it, but it gives away what we're doing if we do that. So I would rather not do that. Streams cutting in and out briefly at times. Sometimes audio desyncs. Yeah, try closing the stream and then opening it back up. Would be I just got here and I'm disturbed by the sight of last ditch effort. Believe. Believe. Weakest link. You run a bunch of no blocks, right? You got a vengeance. You got a bunch of these reacts. Don't block. Come on. You care about this. Block 2 cards. Up, see, I told you they care. Oh, you have a D react? That's cool. Boom! The 4 over discard. Look at the hand. Fumble enable chat. Oh, that's too good, bro. He saw the fumble and he enabled chat. He said, "What the fuck? That's awesome." Okay, no, we wanna order that different. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because they didn't have one. But normally, I wouldn't want that to go that way. Yeah. So this hand's like pretty good. He said, "Oh, oh man, that's too good." Wait, I know it's in his hand. It's Hunt's End. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good 1 card hand. Holy shit. It's actually really fucking good. Is there a 0 for 4 in Arsenal? That's the question. Holy shit. We have 1 Draconic Chain Link. So it's just +2. Okay. I can deal with that. So do we do like the value play of sizzle into that? Or do we go for that? It's too obvious now. We just played one. It seems we're both cooking. Playing somersault to make your opponent IP bad card is the true big brain play. It could be. It could be. Quicksilver seems pretty bad. I mean, yes and no, actually, because then you get to reduce the shitty fucking um reactions because you only need one. So like I do agree that it is a lesser card overall, but at the same time, it seems decent. Calming breeze, bro. What? Calming breeze. Please tell me you don't have Hunt's End again, bro. If all his Hunt's Ends are at the bottom, bro, I'm toasted. Like there's nothing I can do. I can't beat that. Oh god. We're done for. I need a somersault play. Let me get a 6-block somersault. God damn it. We could actually die here, is the problem. What do we do? Encounter might not happen, but we could take damage to gain life off of spirit if we wanted to do that. If he has it, he has it. Because we really just need to gain life off the spirit. We're gonna block with it. Not a good sign. You may attack an additional time, and its attacks cost you one less draw card. Okay, so just sure. I don't think you want to end. No, yeah, he hasn't even hit me with the fire and brimstone yet. We're still waiting for that. I've been very unimpressed with this card. Attack me, bro. Okay, here we just said pass, right? Yeah, there you go. Hit resolve. Now that's draconic. You did it. You got there. You're mm, 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 mm. 9 turn, 40-minute game. Yeah. This one's taking a minute. Okay, so our basic our out is we need him to block enough to where we don't die. I didn't even check if we had Skizzic. I hope there's one in there. There is. That would have been rough. Seven go again. Really want to get it. I'd love to get 2 cards from him. And then block and then kill with the pummel if I draw the hand. Be able to do like a somersault play would be. That's the win con. That's the win con. If there's no blocks here, then we're in like real big trouble. Okay, this is like in between. We basically need an executable somersault to really stay in there. We have no somersault. We have a target if we can live, is the problem. I'm not too confident that we can. Although we have to do our best. Maybe saving that fighting spirit was better, but I mean, like being at 4, a 0 for 3 pump just wins. We have to give something. That's the one with the lowest amount. I think we just have to make that block. Yeah, like that would just. Oh, we're dead anyway. I mean that works too. GG. So either way, would have attacked if even if that was 0 for 4, it still just probably close the game out unless we can get like a good somersault, which we that's not even one because it would have been we could have sunk into it. But that's a little risky. Yes, let me swap screens real quick. So yeah, that is the list. That is the idea, GG. Um it is very early, obviously, in the development of it, but I think the idea is solid. The one thing that I think may be the weakness of the deck is I've taken it a little too much in the aggressive right? Like, imagine if I had a few more D reacts. I'm also not sold on. Yes, the deck is somersault abuse. That is 100% correct. And then also the fighting spirits. I don't know if me the problem is I'm being a little bit too efficient from the first couple turns to where I'm not dropping below is a little bit of a problem, and I'm not actually extracting that much value. So maybe I need to revisit that and um just pivot it into like just raw 3 block kind of value. Um I'm not sure. I'm gonna continue to work on it. Also, pummel might be a trap. Maybe pre-med into purgatory might be the better avenue. It's the very beginning. I've been working on the deck. It's been an idea since January. Is the first time I had the idea, and then I've been just kind of like it's been in the back of my mind, basically like a Beefy Briar 2.0 since I made that one back. That's a long time ago. Back for the Goliath Gauntlet tournament was the first time we saw the Reaping Blade Briar. When I brought it to that tournament. And so it's basically the same take on Aurora. Not sure if it's as good, obviously, but that's kind of the idea. So I encourage everybody to just take it, make some edits, see what works, take some blues out, add some, see what happens. As far as link to the deck list, it's going to be in the Card Guys Discord right after. Um, right after the stream ends, I'm gonna post it in live stream decks, I think is the channel we posted in. I'm gonna put it right there and for anybody to copy as they so wish while standing in the line at Disney. That's true. I made Beefy Briar in the line of Space Mountain was the ride that I was waiting to get when I basically made that son of a bitch on XL pretty much. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it was very fun deck. It's a lot harder to play than you think. It's not always just take the best value play. Sometimes you have to if somebody's being super defensive, maybe instead of somersaulting for 6 value, you just somersault a CNC back in your hand so you can continue to not let them use D reacts and things of that nature. So a little bit more to it, but I think it's a very strong idea. It needs to be refined. I'm going to continue to work on it myself. Uh, but to give people an idea of kind of like where I'm going is the fighting spirits is the life gain risk worth the lower block value. It's the number one thing I want to figure out. Number two, like I mentioned before, moving premeditate in the pummel slot and then moving to a phase purgatory is option or thing that I'm going to kind of be looking at in the future. And then the last thing is the overall offensiveness versus defensiveness of the deck. Do I want to lean more to being defensive or lean more offensively? And I think that's going to boil down to how much Enigma is really going to kind of come out and play. But that's kind of the idea. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And then don't forget, Wednesday will be the Pro Tour London tier list video, which we're going to break it all down, maybe crack a couple jokes, and just have a good time. So please feel free to join me there. Really looking forward to doing that.